All right, had a subscriber want to know the process of this to get started. Now, keep in mind this is March 23rd. It's not green, but I'll go ahead and make this video because some folks are done thinking about doing a renovation in the fall or something. So, I mean, you can go back and you can look at all my other videos. You can see what my yard looks like. So, you get the idea. I mean, it's like that everywhere, but we're just getting started. But all right, so if you want to get a nice established yard, my recommendation, and you're not going to want to hear this, but it is what it is, you need to be planning your renovation and starting your renovation in the spring. So that's going to require you spraying glyphosate on your existing yard. Whatever it is. Understand, grassy weeds like Poa trivialis, they go dormant in the summer. So it does no good to get rid of those and spray those when they're dormant. You've got to spray those out when they're actively growing, and springtime is the time to do that. Orchard grass, stuff like that. When I done this, I started spraying glyphosate 1st of April, and I sprayed an app every month all the way through middle of August, because I seeded this at the end of August when I done a renovation. So I done that every single month until then. I also went to the point of when this was just bare dirt after the glyphosate applications. I would aerate it. I already had irrigation installed on this, so I would aerate it. I even put fertilizer on it to get stuff to come up, to break the ground up, get weeds to germinate, and then my next application, I would spray it again. Unfortunately, I don't have any video of this much. I do have some video of what it looked like before, it ever looked like this, and just a little bit of video, power raking it and stuff. I hired somebody to do that, one of my buddies. But if you want to have a nice stand of grass, and you got a crappy yard right now, or you just got even if you got a decent yard and you want to start over, you want to try a different grass, it's not what you want. Maybe you're better off to start doing it in the spring to get rid of those weeds like Poa trivialis, orchard grass, stuff like that. So nobody wants to do that. I mean, obviously it's going to be dirt the whole year, but it's just it's what it takes to do that. I mean, if you've got Bermuda grass, you can get that in the summer applications when it comes up and greens up. But you've got to do this to get rid of the POA and stuff. You got to do it in the spring when it's actively growing. I wish I had more video of the process, but unfortunately this is way before I ever started doing YouTube. And understand also, it's a process. It takes time. You're not going to have the first year in my yard, I mean, it was good, but I mean, it took a good year or two for it to start really looking good. And I still overseed it. And that's another thing. When you pick grass seed, you need to pick, that's where it all starts. Don't go to Lowe's and buy, Scott's. There's nothing wrong with Scott's seed, but, if you look on every Scott's bag, they typically have other crop in it. That other crop can be POA. It can be ryegrass, stuff like that. Obviously, you don't want anything that's got weed seeds in it. So you need to buy a quality seed. And as far as my seed goes, I'm still planning on doing it. It's just one of the varieties just ain't made it there yet. But it's still supposed to happen. I want to add this in here too, so I apologize again if this video is all over the place. When I first started the video, I was talking about Poa trivialis. Well, obviously you've got Poana also. If your yard is full of Poana and you want to start a renovation, go ahead and spray it like I mentioned in the spring. Unfortunately, with Poana, it seeds so much. Everybody hates those seed heads. Even if you kill it, the seed heads are going to drop. And when those seed heads drop, they're in the soil. So, tenacity. If you're doing a renovation, spray tenacity. It'll help suppress the Poana. It's only going to last about 21 days, and you can use that when you seed. Do your seed and then you spray your tenacity right straight over top of the seed. And obviously, you've got the water to get your grass seed to come up. The biggest thing with Poana is, if you'll notice anywhere after you do a renovation or something, and it's thin, where it didn't come up, where your desired grass, fescue, didn't come up good, that's where the most chances you're going to see Poana pop up. And that's because it's got no competition from the grass that you seeded. So it is extremely important to get whatever you're seeding up and established to help, fight off the chances of Poana coming up. When I renovated this right here, and you'll see in the video when I add in those clips, it was junk. It's probably the worst yard I've ever seen. It's full of Poana, Dallas grass, all that stuff. Poa trivialis. So I done exactly what I told you. I started in the spring, and when I seeded, I sprayed tenacity on it. And, everybody tells you to be patient and let the stuff come up. Well, if you're patient and letting it come up, that's just more chance of crap like Poana coming in. So if I'm not seeing a good stand of grass in 2 weeks, I'm going out and putting more seed down. That's me. Some of you folks may disagree, whatever. But I'm trying to get rid of that crap. So I'll go out and I'll put more seed down. And, obviously, a lot of you folks know this, but when I renovated this, I done it at the end of August, and I got it up good enough to where I could get 2 good mows on it, and I applied a regular pre-emergent by the 1st of October. I sprayed Dimension. 2 good mows on it, and you can spray Dimension on it easily. I've done it every year. Didn't spray it this year, but I didn't have any Poa. And the first year after I renovated it, I think I might have found 10 to 12 spots of Poana, and that was it. And then I sprayed, I done a fall over seed the next year, done the pre-emergent, and I have not seen any since then. But I just wanted to add this in there. You got to get your grass established to fight the chances of something coming in that you don't want there. So, this Kentucky bluegrass, I done it last year. I should have filmed it for you guys, but it was just a mess. It was a mess, an absolute mess. So, but this right here, I mean, this used to be fescue. So I didn't start spraying it this in the spring. I just, you know, it was a good stand of grass, just like the rest of my grass. So I just started spraying it. I guess maybe it was 1st of July or something, June possibly. I mean, I did spray it 2 times with glyphosate to get rid of it. And then, you know, I done my prep work. I power raked it. Now when I done this, you know, I do have a power rake. You know, I've got an aerator, but it's the same process. You know, if this wasn't a good stand of grass already and it was junk, I would have started spraying it in the spring, just to get rid of those, you know, stuff like POA. I mean, I cannot stand that stuff. Can't stand Bermuda either. I apologize if the video is kind of messed up. Hopefully I can edit it, but I need to delete some photos and videos because I use my phone to record these videos with, and the storage is full and it stopped. So as I was saying, POA trivialis is the cool season Bermuda. But I mean, you know, like I was mentioning, it's a process of doing this. With the KBG is the same thing. As I mentioned, you know, it was already a good stand of fescue, so I didn't start it in the spring. But if it was junk, I would have started it in the spring. And that's the way I do all renovations, to get a better chance of getting rid of that nasty POA and some of those cool season grassy weeds. But I raked this today. I scarified it and I double cut it. And I had a major boo-boo right here. When I done this and the seed washed, had grass hair. Now, I used a backpack sprayer on this, spraying the KBG that was down here from washing away, and had one of those shields on it. And I guess it hit the spray hit the rocks, even with the shield, and it bounced up on the edge of my KBG. You know, mistakes happen. Luckily, it's Kentucky bluegrass, and it will fill back in eventually. But it's right there. But still just a little bit of yellow one right here. Not too bad. It's looking pretty good. But if you want to do a renovation and you don't have a good existing stand of turf, and it's got some stuff in it like POA triv, start your renovation in the springtime. Start spraying glyphosate. As you know, back in a previous video, I had a spot of POA trivialis right there in the fall, and I seeded it too late, and it's not real good. It's come up some. Get my shadow out of the way. I did spot seed some more. So, and I hope that right there is not some coming up. No, that's just a piece of fescue. But so that's basically the process of how I started this and how I got the stand of turf that I got. Obviously, you know, it takes a lot of work to do this. So, and I'll try to add in a little bit of video I had of what my existing yard looked like to begin with. It's probably one of the worst yards you've ever seen in your life. Like I mentioned, this is my grandparents' old house, so I moved back here. My grandparents were in the yard work, so. But hopefully this will help some of you guys that's planning on doing a renovation, and just what it takes to get started. I can't stress it enough again, quality grass seed. You've got to start with a quality grass seed also. So, But I appreciate you guys watching, and sorry if this video's, again, if it's all over the place. My phone run out of storage, but hopefully I can get it fixed in the editing. So appreciate you watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.